Today on Rappler, the Justice Department will file graft charges against lawmakers tagged in the pork barrel scam. Supreme Court Justice Abad says abstinence is an alternative to contraception that's 100% effective. And Typhoon Labuyo, international name Utor, leaves at least 4 people dead with damages reaching 69 million pesos. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Justice Secretary Laila de Lima says the department will file graft charges in a few weeks against the lawmakers involved in the multi-million peso pork barrel scam. Whistleblower Ben Hurluy identified 5 senators and 23 congressmen, but a source tells Rappler more lawmakers than those Luy initially identified are misusing their funds. Rappler's own investigation found at least 49 lawmakers whose funds were coursed through the National Agribusiness Corporation and misused by non-governmental organizations from 2007 to 2011. De Lima says investigators were, quote, able to confirm the involvement of these lawmakers. Manila Archbishop Luis Antonio Cardinal Tagle breaks his silence on this pork barrel issue, denouncing the multi-million peso scam as, in his words, heartbreaking.
Sino bang Pilipino na mayroong pagmamahal sa bayan ang hindi mababagabag? At lalo na kung ikaw ay may konting pagsunod kay Jesus, parang lalo kang, nadudurog ang puso mo na kaya bang gawin ito ng tao sa kapwa-tao?
Breaking into tears, Tagle urges politicians and those involved in the scam to visit the homes of the poor.
Siguro maglakad-lakad kayo sa gabi kapag nasa may bangketa ka na makita mo yung mga pamilya na bugpas ng karton para dumatulog, no? Mahawakan lang ninyo ang kamay ng mga hirap na ganyan. Siguro naman, maaantig din ang puso. Sana.
Tagle is the most prominent Catholic figure to speak on the scam where lawmakers allegedly gave away their funds in exchange for commissions. In July, the Vice President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines also criticized the pork barrel as a tool to, quote, strengthen the clutch of politicians to power. Senators and lawmakers, though, refused to investigate the scam that involves their colleagues. The lawyer of alleged pork barrel queen Janet Lim Napoles says her client was a convenient scapegoat for politicians who misused their pork barrel. In an episode of GMA News to Go, lawyer Lorna Capunan says Napoles doesn't know where the allegations are coming from because she has no contract with the government. Capunan says reports linking Napoles to the scam is an orchestrated media campaign to attack her client. She adds, anything that's PDAF related is now a Napoles scam. On day 4 of the oral arguments on the reproductive health law at the Supreme Court, Associate Justice Roberto Abad pushes for abstinence as a, quote, 100% effective alternative to contraception. Abad faces former Albay Representative Edsel Lagman, one of the authors of the law who defended the measure Tuesday. The RH law funds the distribution of free contraceptives and requires government hospitals to provide reproductive health services. Critics oppose the measure, saying it promotes abortion and violates the constitutional provision on the right to life. But Lagman says the provision intends to prevent Congress and the High Court from legalizing abortion, not to prevent contraception. Lagman adds, contraception is universally recognized as the best way to prevent unwanted pregnancies. But Abad counters, proper withdrawal is 96% effective. Abstinence is 100% effective. The justice says he's concerned the law will promote the massive distribution of contraception in the Philippines. Lagman disputes this, saying the law promotes all forms of family planning. Senator Pia Cayetano also defends the controversial measure, saying, in the guise of protecting the unborn and shielding women from the ills of contraceptives, petitioners overstep their bounds and transgress the rights of women. Typhoon Labuyo, international name Utor, leaves at least 4 people dead, 6 injured, and 11 missing as it leaves the Philippines late Monday after battering Luzon. The typhoon destroys more than 69.2 million pesos worth of property. Local rescue teams are conducting search operations for the 11 missing, including 9 fishermen in Camarines Norte and Bolinao, Pangasinan. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council says more than 27,000 families or 137,000 people are affected by the typhoon. Rescuers clear landslide-choked roads Tuesday in an effort to reach isolated villages devastated by the typhoon. Towns placed under a state of calamity are Casiguran, Dilasag, and Dinalangan in Aurora, and the towns of Masinloc and Candelaria in Zambales. The mayor of the Cavite town affected by the Manila Bay oil spill files a cease and desist order against the Petron oil depot responsible for the leak. Rosario Mayor Jose Rica Fuentes says he filed the order a day after the Philippine Coast Guard confirmed a submerged pipeline leading to the oil depot was a source of 500,000 liters of oil that leaked into Manila Bay on August 8. In a statement Monday, Petron apologizes for the spill and promises to help affected fishermen. Rica Fuentes says he wants Petron to transfer oil by land instead of using submerged pipes. Asked if he supports the mayor's move, Cavite Governor John Vic Remulla says, "I don't know enough about the circumstances. We don't know if it's negligence, sabotage, or force majeure. We can't be knee-jerk about this." He adds, Petron is consulting with fisherfolk on compensation for the effect of the oil spill on their livelihood. On the 12th Police Service anniversary of the Philippine National Police, President Benito Aquino tells police, unite and work for the people. Aquino calls for an end to individualistic efforts and challenges them to work together towards public service. While Aquino praises the police's achievements, he also warns officers who are, quote, champions of violence.
Sa katotohanan, mayroon pa rin mga skalawag na kailangan purgahin mula sa inyong hanay. Di ko nga po maiwasang isipin, bakit nga ba nagsusulputan ito mga kasong mismo mga pulis pa ang sangkot? Tuloy, ang kakagawan lang ng ilan para bang pinagbabayaran ng buong institusyon.
Aquino also promises to support the PNP, emphasizing the 9 billion peso budget allotted for the modernization and reforms in the PNP. Anti-violence groups slam an online game that allows players to virtually slap former U.S. State Secretary Hillary Clinton. A group called the Hillary Project's behind the Slap Hillary game, saying its mission is to keep Clinton out of the White House. There's speculation the former Secretary of State will run for president in 2016. The Hillary Project defends the game, saying Democrats did not complain when the Slap Sarah Palin game surfaced in 2008. Palin was the Republican Party nominee for vice president in the 2008 polls. A personalized jetpack developed in New Zealand is cleared for takeoff, with aviation regulators granting developers a flying permit to conduct manned test flights. The jetpack is the brainchild of inventor Glenn Martin. Inspired by childhood television shows like Lost in Space, Martin set out in the early 1980s to create a jetpack that ordinary people can use. The jetpack consists of a pair of cylinders with propulsion fans attached to a freestanding carbon fiber frame and controlled with joysticks. Martin Aircraft Chief Executive Peter Coker says a version of the jetpack for the military should be ready by mid-2014. A simpler model for the general public is expected to be in the market in 2015. The machine, though, comes with a hefty price tag of $150,000 to $250,000. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 3, the British government is considering taking legal action against Spain over stringent border checks imposed at the border with Gibraltar. Britain says the checks are, quote, politically motivated and totally disproportionate, but Spain says it's considering taking the dispute over Gibraltar to the United Nations and International Court of Justice at The Hague. Spain ceded Gibraltar to Britain in perpetuity in 1713. At number 4, Suspected Islamist extremists shoot 44 worshippers at a mosque and 12 others in a nearby village in Nigeria's restive northeast. The attacks are believed to be in retaliation after citizen vigilante groups helped the military battle Islamist extremist group Boko Haram. The group has been waging an insurgency since 2009. The violence comes as Nigeria's military pursues an offensive to end the insurgency. And at number 7, smartphone maker BlackBerry says it's examining, quote, strategic alternatives which could involve putting itself up for sale. The Canadian firm says it's considering, quote, possible joint ventures, strategic partnerships, or alliances, a sale of the company, or other possible transactions. The announcement comes with BlackBerry overshadowed in the smartphone market, dominated by Apple's iPhone and makers using Google's Android OS. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. Every story on Rappler has its own mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel, and your vote comes down to the mood navigator that's in the middle of the front page that crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that have affected our viewers the most. If you take a look, these are the stories that have gotten the most votes on their mood meter, the top 10. We see Napoles still own 400 million pesos on U.S. properties, 88% angry. A story posted just about an hour ago, Janet Napoles and a tragic past. This goes, it's a Rappler exclusive looking at what she's done with the military, 84% angry. And a third story on Janet Lim Napoles, how Janet Lim Napoles got away. This is on the Kevlar helmets with the military. You have 81% angry. The red taking the stage today. Most people are angry. Well, that is Rappler's newscast for today, Tuesday, August 13th, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.